Hello all, welcome back to Cloudy ML. So today in this video we are going to talking about clustering. So by talking about mixture models in clustering, okay. And in particular we'll talk about Gaussian mixture model. Okay. So K-means is great, but it doesn't handle arbitrarily shaped clusters. It can only find circular clusters because all the distances are defined using Euclidean distance, which doesn't prefer one direction over another. So the way that we are going to deal with that is we are going to model our data, that is for every cluster. We are going to learn a Gaussian distribution that explains what that cluster look like. Like so for K-means we had each cluster with a mean, which is why it is called K-means, right? Now we are going to have an addition to a mean, defining it a normal distribution. So we are also going to learn a variance, and that variance lets us capture properties of data distribution. So that we couldn't with just a mean in K-means, right? And recall the reason that we want to do this is if you want to be able to solve problem like this, where you have a circular shaped cluster, which uh, which uh, which you could capture with K-means, but we have the sausage shaped cluster up there, so that we couldn't capture with K-means. So we need to capture its variance, which is possible with a Gaussian distribution. Okay. So there are multiple reasons why you might want to look at a mixture model. So in addition to being able to capture properties of data, which we already talked about, is also now gives you a better way of thinking about, like saying how probable your data are, and this allows you to be do a better job of selecting what k is. So you can ask what is probability of my data under clustering, and you can try out for different values of k. So to select the number of clusters that you are actually going to see, and as a result, this makes it less sensitive to data scaling. If you double all of your coordinates by 2, your cluster shouldn't change that much. This makes it a little more robust to that. Okay. So recall the Gaussian distribution. The Gaussian distribution is defined by a mean and a variance, and so the mean corresponds whether the center of the distribution lives, and the variance says how spread out it is. If we encode the vary as a in matrix instead of just a single number, this allows the distribution to be spread out more in one direction than another direction. So for example, when the mean is 0 and the variance is this matrix, okay, so this matrix here, this gives us a distribution that looks like this. Okay, so when you look at the matrix, you can see this number is quite larger than the other numbers. Okay, so the other numbers comparison with this number are quite smaller. Okay, so what is this saying is that you are now going to have quite bit more variance in one dimension this alone. Okay, so this ridge here. Okay, so this here then you do in the other direction. So this is allowing you to capture this ridge shape distribution. So when we model our data with a Gaussian mixture, so model we have our data just as we had with K-means, and we are going to model each cluster with a mean and a variance. But now how do we figure out what those means and variance are to do that? Okay, we are going to simplify the model a little bit just to make it easier to explain what's going on. Okay, so we'll relax this assumption a little bit later. This makes it actually very similar to K-means, and once we figure out how to do it with a simple model, we'll go into more complicated version. So first, let's assume that we just have a variance matrix that is diagonal. So that is everything except the diagonal 0. Okay, and we are also going to assume that all of the variances are the same, so they are the same number, and also know that what the number is, and so this makes the problem very simple, and this makes it like look like a k means or all. Okay, so all that we have done is instead of using a simple distance function, we are now going to use a Gaussian distribution function, which turn out to be a very similar one. Okay, so what we are going to do is going to start off with something very similar to k means. We are going to randomly place our mean somewhere in the data, and then we are going to assign each point to one of the cluster, and the way we are going to assign points to cluster is based on the likelihood, what is the probability of observing that point given that cluster mean, and that's just a normal distribution. So if you work through the math, you'll see a lot of false. Wait, this is a constant. So this is a constant, and this is a constant. This is a constant, okay, and this is this is proportional to this term, okay. So here, and then all that we are really left with that doesn't depend on this sigma, which is assumed to be a constant, is this term, which here look like the distance, this term, okay. So which here looks like the distance function that we are computing before in k-means, and then after we assign points to a cluster, that we are going to now recompute the mean thing. So the standard way is to add up all the numbers divided by number of points, and then we can cluster the data, and then just keep doing that, iterating through like we did it for k-means, okay. So okay, so now if we put k-means and Gaussian mixture model fit with this is called, well, this is called Hardian. Okay, so why this called a Hardian side by side. So you actually side by side you actually get very similar equation. The only difference is that you have a square root in k-means on the distance, and everything is exactly the same. Okay, so now let's make this a little bit more complicated, and actually using the power of the Gaussian distribution to encode the shape of the clusters, and that makes our life a little bit more difficult, but gives us more power. So now we are still going to assume a diagonal matrix, but what's different is that each diagonal entry can be a different number. So this allows us to have different dimensions being more variable than other dimensions. So if we can use the algorithm where we use likelihood to assign points to cluster, and then we can recompute what the means and variances are using these equations. So let's see what that looks like in practice. So we compute the likelihood for each point, and we get a likelihood for each cluster. So we can then see which cluster is more likely for each of the place. So we recompute the means and the variance to compute new clusters, and so here are the new clusters. Here are the new clusters that we get as a result. And then we keep doing this until a cluster don't change and we have a new answer. So this concludes our discussion of clustering. So clustering allows you to find patterns in your data, and it connects back to some of the foundation that we talked about at the beginning of class in terms of probability distribution. Next time we are going to talk about clustering text documents, which are discrete data rather than the continuous data. So that's all about today. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this video was helpful for you.